And that's also obviously really cool, because now, right now, basically it's 1-1 between these two guys, but this was also the deciding game in the clan war. So super important, either side. Let's see how that unfolds. If you guys have missed the clan war, and even if you have seen the clan war and you already know how it unfolds, don't worry about it. It's still interesting, because we saw Belshire Vestas, we saw what went wrong for MMA, and now let's see how this game goes. MMA is actually going to proxy a Rex. MMA is really switching up his playstyle a lot against Pro Tools. I kind of wonder what would happen if MMA plays in a super important game right now, and GSL Code A, GSL Code S. Obviously he's not in Code S right now, but if he would still switch it up all that much, or if he's still just kind of finding his way in Heart of the Swarm, or if he just thinks that this is the best way to play against Pro Tools. So we saw that he dropped an early refinery as well, so he's going to get a really quick Reaper out. Now actually, I'm a big fan of these openings. I do not think that MMA needs to proxy the Rex, because he sacrifices even more economy than you normally already do for as Terran while taking such a quick refinery, but that's okay. This is MMA. I would never question MMA. So Reaper is going to jump in. He's immediately going to pick up the first probe. Sage right now, he knows. This is something important, by the way. As Pro Tools players, if you hate dealing with the Reaper, Chrono Boost out the Stalker as quick as possible, because the Zealot is never going to catch that Reaper. Now something a lot of Terran players start doing is like they start microing around and start shooting a lot at the Zealot. I do not think that's the right choice. It's much better to just avoid the Zealot and try to be annoying pick off probes. You saw MMA right now picked off another probe. That is the right thing to do. So he got a good scout off. Ooh, well, my PC is freaking out a little bit. Hopefully nothing major. So he actually went for 2 Reapers before sending this. I have no idea what's going on with my PC guys. Help! Special effects. Unless this barracks is actually turning into a flying disco ball, but I do not think that's the case. So these 2 Reapers are cruising around. MMA knows right now that he's not going to be able to deal a whole lot of damage, so he's just going to keep those Reapers alive. He wants to know what's happening. Once more we see a quick refactory going on. By the way guys, it would be nice if someone could potentially help me out with the screen here, because I have no idea what's going on, but it seems like our graphic card is suffering a little bit. Slash a lot. Alright, it's kind of hard to really focus on this. Anyways, we will have someone look at that. Hopefully it will be away real soon. So the Reapers jumped in the main base, picked off 1 more probe. Sage right now is on pretty low economy, but of course the same can be said for MMA. MMA sacrificed a lot of economy early on for those 2 Reapers and the proxy Rex. So still a pretty even game. Gonna fast forward for a little while. We see Mothership Core RS gonna pick off a Marine. Nothing major right now. Once more MMA with that proxy factory being annoying, getting those Widow Mines out. A Stalker in this phase of the game, pretty damn big deal, so I like that follow by MMA. It made sense. If you guys wonder like, hey, why does MMA build a command center in the main this game while he didn't in the previous game? That is because in the previous games he didn't proxy the Rex. So this means that he would have enough Marines and get a bunker on the low ground early out. So he would have enough to defend against any early gateway poke, let's say Zealot, Stalker, Mothership Core. In this case he would barely have any Marines because he made 2 Reapers and then he flew the barracks all the way home. So it's a lot safer to just build it in the main. And he also knows that with those Widow Mines, in case he has to deal with a lot of pressure, he would love to see that, because those Widow Mines are just going to run into an unprotected Protoss base and once more deal a lot of damage. So taking a look at the state of the game right now, 28 against 27 work-wise, all pretty even. Stim is not going to be super early. Now, as a Protoss player, I really don't mind playing against these kind of openings of the Widow Mines all that much. The reason why, it delays Stim, and I still find Stim the most scary thing in a certain phase in this matchup. So yes, those Widow Mines might deal some damage, but they also cost Terran a lot of money and they delay other stuff a little bit. So it might be nothing to worry about. First drop right now is going to be unloaded in the main base from Sage, but look at those Marines. Aren't they cute and harmless if they don't have Stim? I would love to pet those Marines all day. They're welcome in my base, because I'm not all that worried about it. MA is going to float the factory home this game, so he's just going to turn this into a standard macro game. As soon as Sage has observers, I like what Sage did by the way. His first observer is going to be over here, and then just the other observer is going to make his way across the map, because you want to have those paths outside of your base. You want to have it covered. You want to keep track on those medevacs. Once more guys, vision is everything. I struggled for years in this matchup, literally for years, just because I didn't put my observers in the right position, and I just felt like, man, how are the pros so good? How do they always defend against drops? Well, if you have 2 seconds more to react to a drop than when it shows up here, instead it shows up here, you're going to be a lot better, and it's going to be so much easier for you as a Protoss player to deal with those drops. And as a Terran player, in my opinion, as soon as you have the first first medevacs out, it is really worth it to get like a Viking later on as well and just scan outside of Protoss base. If you still want to drop late game, you're going to have to take out those observers. My PC is still freaking out a little bit, but I'm just going to ignore it. It's Rotti's replay hour. Lots of parties. A little bit of graphic issues. All part of the game. So Sage once more is going to prefer to open up with Colossus. But if you take a look, he's not researching thermal lens yet. You guys wonder, is that on purpose? Most likely, as soon as you see a Twilight console going down, which is behind the mineral land over here, yes, that is on purpose. This is something, it's one of the oldest tricks in the books for Protoss. You make one Colossus, it will help out a lot in defending against a big pyro push. But after that, you go to High Templars immediately. So if you're lucky, Terran shows up with 8 Vikings, and those 8 Vikings are going to be absolutely useless in the fight. Of course, opening up with Colossus does delay his second forge a little bit, but he does have both forges now as well. But you have to be careful. Whoa, big replay party. Once more, Observer over here already spots his medevac. So Sage looks extremely good. Sage is extremely good. But it's going to be, once more, it's a lot easier when you already have your observers in position. This drop does absolutely nothing. This drop also got spotted by the observers. I can repeat myself over and over and over again, but if you want to win games against Terran, you're going to need to put your observers in good positions. Otherwise, you're making life 3 times as hard on yourself than it really is. I have no idea what's going on over here, but this is not pretty. Anyways, I'm just going to continue with this game, and after this game we will address this issue, because I got a couple of more games. For everyone who just joined us, this is the 3rd replay I analyzed, basically. After this I'm going to do 2 more games, 2 of myself. And I want to tell you guys my thinking process while going through this game, which is obviously more accurate than when I'm watching pros, because even though I try to make sense of all their moves, it's still hard to put everything together, because I can't really look in their minds. But when I play the games myself, I can tell you guys exactly what went through my mind. And for people who wonder what level are those games, I believe one of the games was against Grandmaster League, the other one just High Master, so that is pretty much it. So we saw the game on Belshire Beach. We saw that double forge, also important for Protoss, as Sage had an upgrade advantage. And you would say like, well, MMA, you took that fight. You could see that MMA didn't really want to take that fight. So after that, you say like, this game he should be a little bit more careful. Well, we will see that real soon. Man, this is completely off the charts. So once more, you see 2-2 about to finish up for Protoss. And this all comes together to Sage never really taking any damage from the drops. So he knows that he's going to get an advantage in a certain phase of the game. 4 Colossus by now is really scary. He actually did not go into High Templars, despite dropping a quick Twilight Console, despite really delaying extended thermal lens. That is mostly because A, it sort of got scouted, and B, Twilight Console is good anyways because he can get those +2 upgrades. So you still have the option, even if you only make 1 Colossus early on, you can double mind game and still make more Colossus. Or it could just be part of your potential game plan, and then you say, hey, 1 Colossus to be safe, then I'm going to focus on upgrades, then I'm going to go back to Colossus stack. This is one of those moments where I'm not exactly sure why Sage did it. It could be either of the 2. I mean, I could try to I could try to talk in absolutes, but this was not my game, so these guys on the highest level of play, there are an insane amount of mind games, and players switch their play up all the time. See Sage right now just hunting down Medevacs for a little bit. So right now we're in a very similar situation as we had on Belshire Vestige. MMA slightly more supply, but you could say that Sage, I think your army is a little bit more intimidating. Despite once more, actually this time he has High Templars, but he does not have Storm if I recall correctly. But he does have a scary army. So if you just pause the game right now, we see that both armies are getting pretty close to each other. Man, what's going on with my graphics? Oh, that sucks. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a look at it like that. Once more, +1 Viking ship, almost or +1 ship weapons, almost ready, not completely ready. +2 bio army, 40 seconds from completion. It's an absolute mirror from the game on Belshire Vestige. Once more, Sage is gonna spot the army from MMA here, kind of similar to the previous game. While the disco graphics are really off the charts right now. Guardian Shield is going to be activated. Yes, there are a lot of Vikings, but guys, upgrades are so important. By now, +1 did finish for the Vikings, but the fight already started. And I guess it's hard kind of to see what's going on over here. But you can see these Zealots, they just do not die. As long as you have the upgrade advantage, Archons and Zealots absolutely shred Marine Marauder. As silly as it sounds, Charge was ready, +2 was ready. And right now Sage just once more wins the fight pretty damn convincingly. And he's just going to counterattack immediately. By now +2 is ready for MMA, but he already lost those important units. He lost most of it. A couple of his units are still out of position as well. Sage is running straight into MMA's space and wins. I really thought it was bizarre how 2 games on a row you see almost the exact same scenario unfold. Two times you see both players pretty much maxing out. MMA wanting to get a fight before +2 is ready from Sage, and as soon as +2 is ready for Sage, Sage is going to force the fight, and with that upgrade advantage, he's just going to straight up win the game. As you guys can see right now, he's going really aggressive. He didn't really have to do this. He could have also just kind of contained MMA, taking out the fort base, but Sage confident enough that he was going to win the game right here and right now. And I thought that was really worth looking into. How crazy is it that 2 games played on 2 different maps pretty much come down to the exact same thing, the exact same scenario. Early game, relatively similar, a little bit different because of the Reaper opening. Mid game, a little bit similar because the Wither Mines, okay, they were annoying but didn't deal that much damage. Then both players just max out, and you see this Protoss with +2, 2-2. Observers always in good positions, never took any damage from drop, and as soon as 2-2 is ready, he forced the fight and he wins the game. It's pretty sick how it's played on 2 completely different maps with 2 slightly different openings, but it all comes down to the same engagement on the same moment. Viking weapons, or ship weapons I should say, Viking +1, almost ready, not completely ready yet. Bio is 40 seconds from completion. By the time the fight is over, you lost the fight. Yes, you have 2-2 now, but hey. So I guess the biggest mistake that MMA made is 2 times being out that far on the map without really wanting to fight, because you have to ask yourself as a Terran, you either want to fight immediately, so just run across the map, force the fight, or you kind of just back off and say, alright, you know what, my +2-2 is going to be ready in 20 seconds, I have a couple of ghosts, I have Vikings, I'm just going to back off for a little bit, I have a good economy, because that's what MMA had. So you have to ask yourself, MMA, why were you there 2 times if you did not rush across the map immediately? I don't know, but what I do know is that it costed MMA the game twice, because I really feel those fights, if it's 2-2 against 2-2, they are completely different. And it might sound like I'm exaggerating, it's not. The upgrades are extremely important. So guys, we're gonna address this small PC issue that I got going on. I'm gonna take a small commercial break. After that, I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a look at 2 replays from myself that I played on ladder, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. One game I'm extremely proud of, and the other game I made a mistake that I should never make again, and hopefully after watching this game with me, you guys will never make that mistake again either, because it's very simple, and if you really focus on the mistake once, it kind of always spins around in the back of your head and you won't lose again. So guys, stay tuned, and I'll be right back.